Hi, everybody. I'm Arpita Gandhi, and I have Larry Greenblatt here, who just passed the brand new CISSP exam. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you for having me, Arpita. Great to be here and tell everybody my experience.
Sure. How was it, Larry? I know you crushed it. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your
It was
experience?
very nice. It was one thing I really stood out was that it was very up to date, and it did feel that it was very relevant to what we're doing today. So I didn't feel any old legacy stuff that why would they make me memorize that? I really enjoyed taking the exam. Very well written too. So I didn't sit there and go, well, that's not even a thing. Sometimes you bump into with exams. No, it was very nice.
That's great. So for some of our viewers who may not be aware, do you want to share a little bit about your coaching experience? I know you've been in this industry for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. That's the great. I've been in the industry since the '80s, and I started passing exams back when the old Novell stuff came out. But I started the CISSP stuff. I did in 2001. I passed. So 23 years ago, the first time I took the exam, and right after that, it was 9/11, unfortunately, but it contributed to a lot of work in our field, and I was very fortunate to just ride.
That's great. I know this, but some may not, that you worked in almost all of the military.
Yeah, I've been all over the world. I've been on bases and for all branches of the Department of Defense and all the intel agencies. In fact, the weirdest one most people don't even know. I remember when no one knew what the NSA was, but the NNSA, the National Nuclear Security Administration, is what I know. I've been very fortunate and get exposure to not just military intel agencies, most of the large financial stuff and a lot of other government agencies.
That's amazing. So, can you share about your approach to taking the CISSP, Larry, and how you prepared for it?
Well, I'm such a big fan of the LLMs today. So honestly, besides teaching it for the last, 20 to some odd years, I did use particularly I used Gemini and Claude to help me with the exams. So I had Gemini generate exams, interactive exams. And then when I didn't like the answer, I feed it over to Claude. And sometimes Claude and I signed it together. Once in a while, I realized I was wrong. But
That's
I also had ChatGPT going, but that was for my music stuff, so I was kind of busy there.
that's amazing. I know you have been teaching for a very long time, and how do you think IC squared CISSP exam is relevant to today's world?
It's very relevant, especially as the AI take whatever you want to call it. We're watching these things take over, and the biggest problem in AI is, well, besides control, is bias. And the CISSP has always pledged not to be biased, not toward a country or company. It was always the ISO, the common good. Say from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. So I think it's the most relevant security exam. That's why I'm still here. I absolutely love it and believe in their role and mission.
That's excellent. Larry, what advice do you have for potential candidates who are not quite sure whether certifications still earn the value that they once
I
brought?
get that a lot, and I know some of the best engineers, people I've worked with in the field before, have no certification for them it works. But I always say it's kind of like driving a car. If you're going to stay in the same industry and everybody knows you, that's different. But when you're driving out on the street with other people, it's nice to have a license that proves you passed something. Now, having a driver's license doesn't prove you absolutely can drive, and not having a driver's license doesn't mean you can't. But I prefer that we keep some.
Yeah, I love that. So for our viewers, Larry, do you want to share about our services at Internetwork Defense?
Well, funny
Yes.
you should mention. Thank you. I've been teaching this for a long time on my own, and I'm not always the most professional here. But thanks, Arpita. Yeah, we have well, quite a few things we do. So as you can see here, we have our we do CISSP, the CCSP and CCSK and the same thing. And then the ISACA's 3 lines of defense with CISSP, CISSP, and CISA. Now, not just my pre-recorded class in the 5-day, but Arpita, you have me doing some really neat stuff here, including, you know more about it. We just started with our study groups, but it's fantastic. I know the feedback.
Yes, yeah, we'll touch a little bit upon that. We are doing CISSP study groups, and we're starting our CISSP study groups soon. These are all virtual.
We got a big hand. We have a big hand on the CISSP one. Remember, who's the gentleman who's going to be helping us out?
Yes, so we are partnering with Ben Maliso to practice CISSP together. That's fantastic. And we're
a legend in the field. Ben, thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to that. So if you guys want to pass and you're not ready, we have some stuff to help you. And I can tell you, you know, it definitely seems to be appropriate for the new exam.
Fantastic. Thank you, Larry, for joining today.
Oh, thanks for having me. See you guys. Bye-bye.
See you.